That's a really important question, and it gives me an opportunity to address a misconception, a wrong idea that people have about meditation. People often think that meditation is about changing your mind, making it quiet, making it empty, even making it peaceful or positive or any of those things. And I think it's really important to understand that while those are some side effects of meditation, especially in the long term, if we go to meditation with any kind of goal to change something like ourselves or our minds or anything, to make something better, in a way, we've already missed the point. Because how I have understood and benefited from meditation, which was your question, really only started when I started meditating in equanimity, meaning allowing, making friends, making peace with anything that arises. So the purpose of meditation, in my opinion, in my experience, and from the teachings of my great teachers, is to first minimize, make more manageable the number of things that are going through our minds. So yes, that's part of the process. That's why we focus on something, especially in the beginning. But we do that in order to be able to see our mind more clearly. Most of the time, most of us are going around with so many thoughts and ideas and emotions that we're not even aware of all of them. There are just too many to notice while we're trying to manage our lives. So that's why, at least in the beginning, we practice meditation in silence, in stillness, usually with our eyes closed. But we sit up so that we don't fall asleep. But the point is, once we are able to know what is going through our own minds, the exercise, the practice, is to make peace with it. Is to say okay to everything. Thoughts of anger, okay, I accept. Thoughts of fear, thoughts of inadequacy, thoughts of resentment, anything that arises, thoughts of desire, okay, I accept. And how does it change our relationships and our work life and all aspects of our lives? Is that as I practice, just like if I practice hiking, I become more fit at hiking. If I practice making peace with every kind of experience, then I become better at making peace in the world. Mm-hmm. So instead of immediately picking up the sword and the shield when I feel like something is not the way I want it to be, whether it's in a romantic relationship or a work relationship or even just in my own head, I become better and better over time with putting everything down. And if I pick up anything, it's just a mirror, the mirror of meditation that makes me see, okay, it's just my way of thinking. And I accept. I allow.
Beautiful. Really beautiful.
So shall we do a little practice in that direction?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let's sit up straight, mostly so that our backs will eventually feel better and better, and so that we don't fall asleep. Rest the hands wherever they're most comfortable, where we can be mostly still. And at least at first, it's good to practice with the eyes closed, just to again minimize, make fewer the number of things to notice and to focus on. And let's start by noticing the breath, and more specifically, the sensation of the breath in the nostrils or above the upper lip, below the nostrils, in the area of the mustache. Just seeing if we can notice the sensation of the breath going out of the nostrils, maybe caressing, touching the area between the nostrils and the upper lip, and the breath going into the nostrils and out again. Most of us will notice almost immediately that we are distracted by some thought or perception, like a sound or a sensation. First opportunity to just practice saying, okay, I accept. And then just to help the mind settle and become more clear, putting our attention right back onto the sensation of the breath as it goes out through the nostrils, maybe caressing the area between the nostrils and the upper lip, as well as in through the nostrils. For a few moments, we'll just do that. Try to notice every sensation in the nostrils and above the upper lip of every breath in and breath out. Maybe noticing that as the breath comes in, it's a little cooler. As the breath goes out, it's a little warmer. And when we notice that the mind has wandered, which is inevitable, it is just the nature of mind to wander. We take the opportunity to practice equanimity. Okay, I accept. And come right back to the physical sensation of the breath. Just continuing to return to the sensation of the breath. If we get distracted 100 times in just a few minutes, wonderful. That's 100 opportunities to practice equanimity. Okay, I accept. This thought, this sensation, this perception is not a problem. And we practice coming home to ourselves once again, feeling the breath in the nostrils and above the upper lip. Just returning to the breath over and over again. Natural breath. No need to breathe any particular way. Just relaxing without trying. Making friends with experience, making friends with ourselves. Just breathing. Just feeling. Just being. If any tension, discomfort, or pain arises in the body, remember, this too shall pass. Even if we did nothing, everything eventually passes. So let's use even the discomfort, tension, or pain as opportunities to say, okay, I accept this too. Making peace, making friends, and still just feeling the breath. Letting the mind be calmed and soothed by the repetitive rhythm of natural breathing. letting everything be. No sensation, no thought, no sound. Nothing is a problem. Nothing is a distraction. Everything is okay as it is. If you notice yourself becoming agitated by any part of your experience, wonderful. Congratulate yourself for noticing. Make peace. Come back to the breath. Natural breathing. Normal breathing. And if you notice something that at the moment you cannot accept, something with which you cannot make peace, what a wonderful opportunity to make peace with not yet being able to make peace. This is a key teaching. We always have another chance. If we're not okay with something, we can be okay with not being okay. Or okay with not being okay with not being okay until we are. Just breathing, just be. And just for the last few moments here, continue to feel the breath in the nostrils, but also see if you can notice yourself noticing. It's like relaxing back into ourselves, almost like looking back at the back of the head without looking with the eyes. Noticing the breath, but also noticing that there is a wakeful consciousness that is aware of the breath and that is aware of being aware. If you don't notice it, just notice the breath. If you do notice the awareness that is aware, that is you, just rest in that for another moment, one last moment. And see if you can continue to feel the breath in the nostrils. Maybe even if you became aware of yourself being aware, continue to notice that too, as we just softly allow the eyes to begin to open again. So meditation doesn't really ever have to end. You might have noticed it's easier to feel the breath, to notice the breath, maybe even to notice awareness. If our eyes are closed and our attention is more focused, that's why we do it, at least in the beginning. But we can continue to become aware, to stay aware, and more accepting, making peace, making friends with our experience, even after we open our eyes and walk away and start interacting with people.
And that's what they meaning about the mindfulness.
Yes.
Is the meaning, or
Yes. Mindfulness and equanimity are the foundations of meditation. In other words, we want to become more awake, more aware, to actually feel and experience everything more and be at peace with it. Studies have shown that meditators actually experience physical pain more than non-meditators in the neurological system. But when they are asked how intense the pain was, they say it was less intense than non-meditators say it was. So you see, with meditation, with mindfulness and equanimity, we feel more, we live more fully, and we suffer less because we make peace with everything.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And that final little experiment we did in the end there, see if you can notice yourself noticing. The reason that I suggested that was, again, a very important thing to understand. We are not practicing meditation in order to develop more equanimity. You see how that's just another way of not accepting. I am not good enough, I need more equanimity. It's not like that at all, and it's very tricky. If we begin to notice ourselves noticing this kind of background awareness that is always there, we will begin to notice that it has always been there and that it is always the same. The thoughts and the sensations may be positive or negative, but this awareness that is actually who we are, it is what all of us refer to when we say I. It's like the screen on which the movie of life and the mental images and everything gets projected. It's like something that is always there and is always already at peace, accepting everything as it is. Like the screen doesn't say, oh, I don't like this scene and I don't like this character. It just allows everything to play in it.
Yeah.
So meditation is about, in my opinion, in my experience, and again from my teachers, discovering, uncovering, unveiling who we really are as a consciousness that is already perfectly happy, perfectly at peace, perfectly accepting, perfectly loving. There's nothing to chase after.